What movie makes me feel like this? Hey, welcome to Cody in the Cinema. And for a very long time, I have been trying to find the movies in this collection that use color, like all over the place. It just splashed on there. It's just thrown on, caked on, every scene, every costume. And you know what? When I was a little kid, The Wizard of Oz, I watched it over and over on a VHS that I still have somewhere. And I think maybe that's part of it. I started with such a nice, beautiful piece of Technicolor right there in my living room as a wee lad. And I still find myself searching for that. And so what is the most visually overwhelming movie in terms of like how much color it can fit on the screen? So to answer this question, I picked a bunch off my shelf that I'd seen. And I really tried to narrow down what it was I was looking for. Was I looking for something like an episode of the Decalogue where they use a great filter? No. Was I looking for the Bergman film with the bright red? No, I wasn't looking for that. I wasn't looking for like a single use. What I was looking for was it's all over the place, like just everywhere, all over the film. Something that feels like this Godzilla packaging looks when you open it up. And I love this thing, man. Look at it. People complain about the disc in here. Nah, this is awesome. I wanted to talk about like what movie makes me feel like this? Like I'm looking at like just a comic book or something that just is so joyful and so full of life. And I came up with a few that might be close before I settled in. The first thought I had was The Leopard. This is the most beautiful film maybe ever, I don't know. It's one of the best photographed pictures ever, one of the best acted, one of the best shot, one of the most compelling cast, but it's not that. It's not fun enough. It's not bursting enough with color. Maybe it's Mishima, right? I mean, they wrote a Mishima, A Life in 4 Chapters, Paul Schrader. I mean, even whenever you open it up, you just, like if you open up this packaging, I mean, immediately, like even the booklet is just crazy colorful. And so many of the scenes and the flashbacks of this famous person really use that well. It uses it in the ending. That is a movie that could maybe be it. Although that movie doesn't quite have the same imagination I was looking for. It's a very, very difficult film to put away in your collection. No, that's not what I was looking for. I wasn't looking for that. I wanted something even more playful. A little bit more like a kid got a hold of this film and they just splashed as much colorful stuff as they could on the screen. Okay, Kagemusha. That was another one that came to my mind, Kagemusha. This is my favorite Kurosawa film. And the atmospheres and the costumes, the pageantry, this imposter who starts in this kind of drab scene next to a king and he becomes someone more important. Even the booklet, even the booklet, look at that. Like, but it's still not it. I told myself, it's still not it. That's not what I'm looking for. What is the most awesome, like, explosion of color that's got that playfulness, that's got that fun? That's also really cinematic, and I settled on a different Kurosawa picture that I think is the most colorful thing I've ever seen. And at the time that it was released, wasn't as popular as it should have been. Someone actually had the nerve to call this thing didactic. You believe that? Who calls a Kurosawa film didactic? Dreams. This thing, literally, okay, Martin Scorsese plays Van Gogh in this, in one of those sequences. This is a film about Akira Kurosawa's dreams that he had, and he sort of applied it to film. And if you haven't seen this, it can be a bit uneven. It can have some slow parts. But my guess is that someone watching this right now is used to like Workmaster harmonies. And if you can handle that, you can handle slow moving. And the booklet doesn't even do a great job of showing you how much it uses. But the opening scene, this imaginative scene in a garden with these trees. There's an army of the dead, their faces with like color. A depiction of, let me call it another world, colorful. The ending shot bursting with color. This is the film that I would say, if you want to watch something colorful, playful, bursting with color, pick this one, Dreams by Kurosawa. Do not expect every dream to be equally compelling for you. Some people don't like the snow one, for example. I do. I like them all. But that's what I would pick. Any of these would be fine recommendations. And those are the ones that like immediately came to mind whenever I was like playing around with my new shelving. I put together one of those tower shelves. I mean, I put it together wrong the first time, so I had to like go back and redo it. But you know, that is what that is. So anyway, those are my picks for explosion of color, and my pick for the best use of that being Kurosawa's Dreams. What are your thoughts? Do you have something you like better? I didn't talk at all about Michael Powell, for example. Let me know in the comments below. If you're enjoying the content, please click that like button. Help to grow the channel. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Cody in the Cinema.